Guys, you're in Southwest Florida. It's not as warm as you'd like this week. What to do? This should always trigger one thought for Southwest Floridians: manatees. Back in 1986, manatees began congregating in colder months at the warm water discharge canal of the Big Bend Power Station in Apollo Beach, Florida. Manatees were flocking there, so they turned this discharge canal into Florida's first manatee viewing park, associated with a warm water discharge area of an electric company.
Manatee Park actually was constructed by Florida Power and Light as a discharge canal. They pull water in from the Caloosahatchee River to cool down their turbines. The discharge of that warm water actually comes into Manatee Park and creates this warm, almost like what we call the Manatee hot tub.
Florida has the largest population of manatees in the country. But even in Florida, the waters can sometimes get too cold for manatees.
Manatees cannot survive in temperatures below 68.
You can see them already.
Yes, so on a really cold day, after 3 cold days, the manatees have no choice but to retreat into a warm water refuge, whether it's a spring or something like this.
Don't let the steam coming off the water concern you. It's clean. The Fort Myers power plant is a natural gas-fired facility. And it's perfectly clean? It basically is just it's a heat transfer.
It is. It's a heat transfer.
When they need the warmth, manatees will gather here from miles away. Even the swim from the Gulf is over 20 miles. But how are manatees from so far away aware of this warm refuge?
There are local manatees that have assisted another manatee become familiar with the discharge.
How do they communicate? What's the sounds they make?
Oh, it's a series of clicks and whistles.
When they're here, they're in groups. This group behavior could be influenced by some form of communication, whether it's through vocalization or other means, to share information about suitable environments, just like this one.
Coming to a warm water discharge is a learned behavior, so one manatee will teach the next, and so you have generations going to the same discharge.
The closest you can get to the manatees here is to rent a kayak. Now, you can't bring kayaks into the canal, but just outside the canal is the perfect spot. It's the only place they can get in and out of this enormous manatee hot tub. They're all under us.
Yep.
How many we got here? Oh, that's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. Sometimes there are so many manatees in here.
All you see is manatees everywhere. It looks like you can walk across their backs to get to the other side.
Cecilia told me her favorite story from her 18 years of volunteering here.
We watched a manatee give birth in the canal. Baby shot out in the air like a cannon. It was yes, it was amazing. It was one of those days. It was full of manatees back to back. We're watching them do barrel rolls, and the steam's coming off, and then all of a sudden you see this ruckus, and there goes a baby flying out in the air. It went about halfway across the canal, and everybody was shocked, and yeah, everybody was screaming like, "It's a baby!"
It went like 30, 40 feet.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of people watching that?
There was a ton of people. It was so funny. None of us could believe it.
We'll see you next week.